We're doing this. I think. I hope. Ugh. Hi, everyone. My name is Abby. My friends call me Stitch, and I'm coming for you. This is gonna be a thing. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really glad that you are here. Hello. My cat's glad you're here too. This is Pepper. Her full name is Oscar Pepper. She's named after Woodford Reserve bourbon. Hello. She thinks it's dinner time. It's not. She's the best. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really glad that you are here. Thank you for being here. And I don't just mean here watching, sorry. I don't just mean watching me. I'm just really glad that you're here on the internet. Excuse you. In this community. It's so cool. I've been lurking for a really long time after discovering you kind of by accident, and I decided it was time to jump in and become a part of you. I am a child of the internet, and I consume a lot of internet content. I watch a lot of YouTube and Flosstube, but I've watched daily vloggers and things like that for years. I don't interact with them, but I don't really interact beyond the occasional like or following them on Instagram. Like I don't participate a whole lot. I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to comment a little bit more on videos and engage with people. I joined my first Facebook group for Stitch Mania, and that was a new and scary thing. I don't talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm trying to change it because you guys seem really cool and I want to be friends. So here we go. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about me and my history of cross-stitching. I'm also probably going to, it's over here, probably going to talk to you about these books. I don't know if you can tell, there are 3 stacks of books there because I went to a library book sale this weekend and everything was 50 cents. And I maybe walked away with over 30 books. So I need to talk about it. It happens. I wanted to talk to you, though, today, mostly about what I'm working on right now. No, let me tell you first about why I'm here. Well, I've told you a little bit about why I'm here. I found Flosstube a few months ago. No, I found Flosstube back in the fall. I was kind of taking up cross-stitching again, starting my first big project, my first ever big project, and the first thing I kitted up myself. And I was kind of nervous and wanted to just remind myself that yes, I know what I'm doing, and yes, this will be fine. Everything's fine. So I went on YouTube to look for a couple tutorials, just basic reminders of what to do. Sorry. And I found a couple videos of just, reminding myself how to backstitch. And I learned how to do a pin stitch. I didn't know that was a thing. So it was really helpful, and I started noticing all these vlogs where people would talk about cross-stitching and show what they were working on, and they would talk for like 45 minutes. And I really didn't get it. I didn't get why they were so long and not edited like the rest of YouTube is. Not the rest of YouTube. A lot of YouTube is a very polished, precise medium. And Flosstube is like a different game, and that's fine. I love it. But I didn't get it at first. I really didn't understand why you would sit and watch something for that long. So I gotta plug you in. And that was fine. I moved on with my life, and I didn't really know what I was missing for several months. And somewhere a few months ago, I found it again and started actually watching videos. And now I get it. It's the best. You have people all over the world who want to talk about what you want to talk about, cross-stitching, and they don't get annoyed when you ramble on and on because you're so excited, or when you repeat yourself because you're so excited. I do both of those things a lot. So hope you're cool with that. You guys are great. I get it now. I really love it. You've taught me a lot of things, including to not be afraid of having more than one project going on at a time. You've taught me that hand-dyed fabrics are a thing, and they're gorgeous, and I want them all. You've taught me that thread exists beyond just DMC. I knew that, but I didn't know the differences and why you would want certain things and what they were for. I get it now. And you've helped me find pieces that I actually want to stitch. I realized that I cross-stitched as a kid. My mom used to cross-stitch, and she's moved on to quilting. More on that later. And as a kid, I made a bunch of little kits, and I made a couple pieces that I made intending to give to my mom because I didn't really want them hanging up. I had a really hard time finding pieces that I was interested in stitching and interested in hanging up on my walls. And that, I think, really kept me from stitching as an adult. And watching you all has helped me realize that there are things that I like and that I want to make. And I have three patterns over here that are because of you all. You've just taught me a lot, and I'm really glad. I don't want to get too into shout outs because it makes me feel a little stalkery because I haven't talked to any of you yet. So I'll save shout outs for next time when I'm not feeling so, you know. Is that cool? Sorry, gotta get situated. I'm going to be fidgeting a lot because I'm sitting on my floor, which I don't normally do because you are on my bed and I didn't want you to be on a tower. So you're on my bed and I'm on the floor. We'll see how it goes. We'll mix it up next time. It's also nice because then my cat is sitting behind the computer after her brief cameo. She's ready to take a nap, so I can just admire her. She's really cute. So small side story to talk about her. I have had this cat for 4 months. I adopted her from Cat Town, which is a rescue association. They have a cafe, a cat cafe. I think the first cat cafe in the country. They're in Oakland, California, which is near where I live. And they have a little coffee shop where you can go and buy a coffee and a pastry, and then you can go into the cat zone. It's so cute. And they have about 10 to 15 cats who are all up for adoption. They've all been rescued from the animal shelter. And they are in the cat zone where they get to socialize with other cats and with humans without being in a cage. And it's so good. It's so good for them. Cat Town tries to take the highest risk cats, so the ones who are older or maybe come into the shelter with some kind of sickness, or ones who are extra stressed out by being in a cage, so they're going to be kind of aggressive and not super friendly to people who might be coming in trying to find a cat to adopt. They also get a lot of kittens who are like given to the shelter, and the shelter will keep them because people want kittens, but they don't get they're not really socialized, so they're not good pets yet. So they get to go to Cat Town where they learn how to be a great cat, and then they're ready to go and be adopted. It's so cute. So you can go, and for a small donation, you get to go in the cat zone and hang out with cats and help them be better cats. And you can also adopt them. So it's very cool. So I visited Cat Town, I guess back in the fall when I was starting the process of getting a cat. And I decided it did not make sense to adopt a cat and then be out of town for Christmas and all the craziness. So I waited until January. And in addition to, sorry, this is a longer story than I meant to tell, but you're just stitching, right? So it's fine. I think that's how it works. In addition to the cats that they have in the cat zone, they also have several cats who are in foster care. So sometimes those are cats who just don't get along well with other cats and need to be alone, or where Cat Town is still too much action. They need something quieter with just a few people and like maybe a couple cats. Or cats who need like special medical attention where they'd just be better suited in a home. And so I was kind of drawn to those cats because they all came with little bios to tell you about them. And they featured them on their website and their Instagram. And so they posted this cat and talked about how all she wants is a few pets and then just to be by your side, which is what I wanted in a cat. I got her to help me with anxiety. And I just wanted that, like, so I didn't even need to really pet her. I just wanted her to be with me. And she's been great for that. She doesn't like to be picked up. She likes to be pet on her own terms. So sometimes she gets a little overstimulated and she'll run away. Sorry, she's like snoozing on her back right now and it's super cute. So she's a little distracting. But she likes to be next to me all the time. She'll kind of follow me around the apartment. And same with my roommate. She's not quite as bonded to her, but she likes her a lot. So she likes to be with whoever's home. And I was a little nervous. We went to visit her at the foster home, and I got in a couple pets. I gave her a treat, but we mostly just sat next to each other. And they were like, "We think you'll be great together." And I said, "Okay." And we took her home an hour later. And I was really nervous because what if we don't get along, and what if she's not cuddly enough? And I got really nervous in the few hours after we had taken her home. But that night, our first night, she just hopped up on my bed and slept on the end of my bed. And I was like, well, we're clearly set forever. I love her a lot. So if you need a cat and you're in the Bay Area, I recommend Cat Town. They're fantastic. They've also been really supportive in like answering questions since I adopted her, and they are great. Her adoption fee was also waived because they're doing construction right now to expand, and they've been waiving adoption fees to kind of help keep things moving, even though they've had some like limited hours and things like that. So she was free to adopt, which was great. I donated the amount to the International Rescue Committee because we believe in safe homes for cats and humans. So she's a little social cativist. I really love puns. So, bring on the puns. Anyway, back to cross-stitching. Let's talk about whips, I guess. I just spent half of this so far talking about my cat. I had a birthday recently, and my roommate got me a cat mug. I'll show you in the future. And in her card, she called me a cat lady. And I didn't think that was an accurate description. It's super accurate. I was not a cat lady before this. My sister had a cat. I had a dog when we were little. And I like cats. They're great. I would rather have a dog, but that's a lot of work. And I'm lazy. And also I don't have a yard, so I'm not motivated enough to make a dog happen. But I am totally a cat lady now. And I'm happy to be here. So if you have a cat, please show your cat in your videos. I'll show her later. I don't want to pick her up and make her mad, but we'll get a better picture of her. Okay, stitching though. Stitching. I think next time I might take you through kind of a timeline of my stitching history. I can tell you a little bit more about my background with it. But for right now, I'm just going to show you what I'm currently working on. I have a finish, and I'll talk a little bit about Mania. And I think I'll also show you what I bought a few weeks ago. Some haul. Does that sound good? I hope. I don't know. I've talked my way through this a few times today already, driving around to work, but I didn't write down any of my thoughts or notes. So I hope I get what was most important to me to tell you. Also, I'm gonna mess with my bangs a lot because I really need to get them trimmed, and I can't figure out the best way for them to be up there. I won't touch it anymore. Okay, so brief timeline of cross-stitching. I cross-stitched as a kid. I made a couple little quotes for two of my friends 2 years ago and got the nickname Stitch, more formally Abington von Stitcherson. That's me. And then I did not stitch anymore because I was really having trouble finding things that I wanted to hang up on my walls, and I didn't really know. I had no idea how much stuff was out there. I had no idea. Got it. I had no idea how much stuff was out there, how many beautiful designs and designers exist in the world, and how to access them, because growing up, the pieces I did were all just from kits at Michael's. And I knew that cross-stitch stores and embroidery stores and all that existed, but I had no idea. So I had trouble finding things that I really, really wanted to make, and I started thinking about what would I want to hang on my walls. You can't see right now, but, well, I guess I can show you. Behind you, there's a little city thing that I made with metallic Sharpies. Above my bed, I have a map. It's soon to be redone with the moon. And then I have a little section with a bunch of Kentucky things printed out. But the rest of my wall space is pretty empty, and there's obviously space in our living room and kitchen and all that. And I was having trouble thinking of things that I liked. I couldn't find things that were really my style. I don't really like things that have a lot of text, so that rolled out a lot. And I had a lot of trouble. So I started thinking about what I would want, and I started thinking about my dream house. Because someday, my goal is to have a house where I have a Harry Potter library. And by that I mean a room of my house that is only Harry Potter. Like, only Harry Potter books. And you might be thinking, aren't there only 7 books? Plus like a couple bonus, whatever? Yeah, no, I want the set of 7 in every possible edition. I have my hardback original, read them as they were published books of my childhood. I have one of the castle, the paperbacks that have makes the castle across the spines. I found the 7th one. But I want a paperback set, the regular paperback set. I want the UK editions. I would like some in different languages. A few years ago, I found a copy of The Sorcerer's Stone in German, and I didn't have any cash with me, and it was a cash-only store, and it was like $10, and I was really poor. I did AmeriCorps when I first moved out to California, and I had no money. So I talked myself out of it, and then I decided to try going back a week later to see if they still had it, and it was gone, and I've been so sad ever since. It had this beautiful picture on the front of the giant chessboard, and it was this beautiful green spine. It was so gorgeous. So someday I'm going to have a house full of Harry Potter editions, the illustrated editions, the new anniversary editions that are coming out this summer with, I think that's just the Sorcerer's Stone, and they have one for each house, and it has like a black cover with the house color embossed on it, and the edges of the pages are the house colors. Oh, they're so pretty. So someday I'll have this library. It will be full of Harry Potter. It will be like a really cozy reading room. I envision it kind of like the Gryffindor common room, except I'm a Ravenclaw. So it would be more blue themed. And the artwork could be cross-stitched. All that to say, my 3 whips, well, one is a finish. My 2 whips and my 1 finish are all Harry Potter cross stitches. I went on Etsy, discovered that there are 10,000 Harry Potter patterns in the world, and I bought a lot of them. So I fell in love with this one that I will show you. It's on my scroll frame, like all the way on, so I'm not going to take it off at all. So hopefully this will work. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to do this in the frame. Got it. So some of it's rolled up here, some sky, but you can see the castle over here. There's a boat. There's a lot of other boats soaring across the water, and then over in this unfinished part, there's this giant full moon. It's beautiful. So I am almost, not halfway, I guess I'm a third of the way through. The pattern is 8 pages long, and I've done 3 pages, but 2 of them are at the ends, and they're a little shorter. I really love it. This is a pattern from a designer called Stitchline on Etsy. They have a lot of Harry Potter and also just like movie and TV themed things. And I was kind of hesitant because most of the pictures with their patterns didn't show stitched pieces, and I didn't trust that, but I really love the piece, and it's turned out really nicely. I'm stitching it on 14 count Aida because I've never used anything else. That will change soon thanks to you all, but up until then I'd only ever done kits with 14 count Aida, so that's what I bought. And I don't love the coverage since it's a really dark piece and then it's on this like cream, I don't remember the exact name. It's like on this off-white Aida, so that kind of shows through a little bit, so it didn't bother me until I was far enough into it that I couldn't stop. So I'm just doing it and I'm living with it and it's going to be fine, right? It's going to be fine. It's beautiful. So I started that one back in September or August, and I bought this pattern because I loved it, and then I immediately freaked out because it was so massive, and I've never done anything that large. I think my biggest finished piece is probably like 8 by 12, and I finished it in high school, so it's been a while. So I got really freaked out, and I decided, easy solution, work on something else that's simpler and easier to do. So the same shop on Etsy had several other Harry Potter pieces, and it's one of those shops where it's easy to do like a buy one get one free, or buy 4 for $10 or whatever, so I ended up buying 5 patterns. After not buying any cross-stitch stuff for years, I went to 5 patterns, and that might sound normal to all of you, but that was scary to me. And now it doesn't sound like enough. I need way more. So I bought 2 other Harry Potter ones, and I bought them because I thought they would look really good together, hanging together probably above this chair. The 2 small pieces and then the big castle looks so good. So I thought these 2 would look good together. This is my finish, and this is a piece that I love. It's the Hogwarts crest, of course, and it's real simple and minimal and clean, which is why I really, really loved it. There are a lot of these crest patterns on Etsy, and there are a lot that are more detailed and prettier than this one, but I like that this one was really clean. So before I started my castle, I started this one because it seemed really attainable. It has 8 colors. There's no back stitching. It was just a really good like get back into cross stitching piece. It's also on 14 count Aida. I think I stitched it with 2 threads. So the coverage on this one doesn't bother me as much because it's lighter. Since most of it is this light yellow, it doesn't bother me, but we'll see. So I started this piece in September. I quickly put it down and just worked on the castle since then, but I went through several months where I didn't touch it at all. Then I bought a scroll frame, and then I stitched nonstop. So I got this pattern, and then I got one other one, which, thank you for bearing with me while I get myself together. I got one other Harry Potter piece. This one I actually did on 18 count because I wanted to try it. I don't love it. It's really stiff. I don't know if it's just because I haven't worked on it much. I don't like it. So this is what I have so far. I will try, I don't have a picture of it printed, but I'll link it below. It's by the same designer, Stitch Line. It will be it's like a Harry Potter sampler. It's like a really tiny version of the Giant Harry Potter by Clouds Factory. So there are there's a animal for each house, there are spells around the border, and then there are some characters in the middle. I thought it was really cute. So I thought those would just look good together. They have, you can see, what am I doing? I can't see anything. I don't know if you can tell, but the lion, I'm a mess, guys. The lion is a very similar shape to the lion on here. But do you know what is not similar? Check out the colors. This lion is orange. He's straight up orange, which I started stitching and I thought, that's really weird. I wonder why he's orange. But I just went with it, and he's got some detail that's in a more traditional maroon Gryffindor color. And I looked at the picture on the pattern and it looked fine. Like it did look orange, but it looked fine in the piece. So I decided I'm just going to keep it and finish the whole piece. And if it bothers me at the end, then I'll take it out and redo it. I don't know, it's strange. But I really like it. So this year I decided to do some Stitch Mania. Just like with Flosstube, it took me a while to figure out Stitch Mania. I didn't know what it was because everyone does it differently, so it was really hard to figure out. Finally figured out it's a Facebook group. Joined the Facebook group. I don't use Facebook for groups like that. I'm trying to because it's fun, but I didn't know that was such a thing. So anyway, I figured out Stitch Mania. I thought, you all are insane. Why would you have so many projects going on at once? Why, how? It stressed me out. On behalf of you, I was so stressed. So I just kind of wrote it off. And then I was watching, I think Running Stitch was talking about her mania. And she was doing a new start on weekdays, but she was working on whips on Wednesdays and weekends. And I thought, that sounds nice. That sounds helpful and logical. I don't have enough projects that I could do that, but I was like, I kind of get that. And she talked about how part of her reasoning was because she had a lot of projects that were kitted up and ready. They just needed to be started. So why not go ahead and start them right now? And she's like excited to do that. And then as time goes on, she can work on what she feels like working on. And if she doesn't touch it for a while, that's fine. Like she's got a lot of projects going on, but why not just go ahead and start? Why have it be a someday project when it could be now? And she said it better than that, but that really stuck with me because I, at the time, had my castle and then this Harry Potter crest. And I thought, you know what? I've got this sampler one that I could do. I have 2 other projects that I bought at the same time because 5 for 10 or 5 for 12. And I bought the fabric. Maybe I hadn't bought the fabric, but I had bought all the floss. I was like 95% kitted up for 2 other projects. And I thought that makes so much sense. I'm excited about this. I'm like really into cross-stitching. So let's ride this. And if it fizzles out somewhere, then that's fine. I'll stitch on something else. So I was going to try it out. So my plan was to do a new start every week. And I started, it was fun. Week 1, I started this. That's the back. My back for this is actually really good. I'm proud of that. I started this one. This took me all week because I ended up not having a lot of time to stitch after all. But that was fine. And then I went to week 2, which was I decided to continue my Harry Potter crest because I hadn't worked on it for 6+ months, so I was counting that as a start. And then I just kept working on it for the rest of the month. I wasn't cross-stitching a ton, but I ended up going home for about a week, and so this one was a great travel project because it was so few colors and just so simple that I could stitch on it really easily. We ended up having a craft afternoon with some of my cousins, and it was fun to be able to just like talk and hang out, and I could stitch really easily. And then at the end of the month, my roommate and I were having a birthday weekend, and we had a pajama day where we just ate snacks and we watched Netflix. We watched Kimmy Schmidt, season 3. So much better than I thought. And we watched about half of Anne with an E, also so much better than I expected. And I had pretty high expectations for both of those. And I loved them. So if you're watching, let's talk about it. But this was then perfect because I could be a little bit more present watching TV and just like, I think I was just filling in the background. So it was really easy. Some might say boring. I say great for watching TV. And then I ended up finishing it on May 31st. So that's my mania piece, and I'm really pleased with it. I'm trying to figure out if I want to try framing it now or if I want to wait until the other one is done so I can frame them together. I've never really framed anything before, so it's going to take me a long time to figure it out no matter what. All right. Those are not all my whips. I have one other project. It's across the room. Hold on a second. Welcome back. Okay, so I have one other project I started a couple weeks ago. No, a week ago. It doesn't matter. I have a project I'm making for one of my friends as a surprise. So, Gretchen, if for some reason you're watching this, you need to stop or skip ahead 5 minutes. When I was home, I'm from Kentucky. I live in California now. And when I was in Kentucky, I ended up making my sister take me to the L&S that I went to as a kid, I'm sure, with my mom. It's a shop called The Finishing Touch in Louisville, Kentucky. And the owner had retired a while ago, I forget, and then ended up reopening a few years ago. I love that story. So I really wanted to go and just like check it out. You all talk about them all the time, and there's a store in Alameda, which is not far from me, but I haven't been yet. So I liked taking my sister and getting to go with a friend. I'll take this one off the Q snap. While I was there, part of my reasoning for going was because I wanted to try to find a little wedding piece that I could make for my friend who got married a year ago, and I went to her wedding. And I'm going to see her this summer around her birthday and a month after her 1-year anniversary, and I thought it would be really nice to be able to give her a cross-stitch gift. Again, because I struggle to find pieces I want for myself. So I looked at the store. I didn't find any good wedding pieces there. I did find a few pieces for me. I'll show you in a minute. But then later that day, my sister and I were at Michael's because she had a 60% off coupon and she wanted to buy some tote bags. And I thought, well, I can probably find something for 60% off for me. So I was going to go in and just buy a Q-snap frame. And instead, I found out that Michael's has patterns because my Michael's and my Joann's do not carry cross-stitch kits or patterns or anything. Well, not anything. They carry floss and Ada and all that. But they don't carry kits, and it slowed down my wedding progress here. Excuse me. So I found this little kit. I'll show you the full picture. Found this little kit. It's a little 2-seat bike. It says happily ever after. I think it's super cute. My friend and her husband are very like active and outdoorsy, so they go hiking a lot and biking and all that. So I thought it was perfect. I think I'm going to change the happily ever after text to orange because that was their wedding color. So I think the banner is fine and the bike has some flowers, some orange flowers. But I think I'm going to change the happily ever after. But it did not come with enough thread for that, so I need to go try to figure that out soon. So this is what I have so far. I'm really quite pleased with it. I'm super proud of that bike because I don't know if you can tell, but the backstitching is super hard. Some of my lines are really wonky for the bike frame because I didn't want it to just be like one long piece, and I tried a lot of different ways to get it to lay correctly, and it just wasn't working. So I just kind of went with some wonky lines, but I'm really proud of my tires. I think they're beautiful. I thought those were going to be terrible. I also learned how to do French knots, which I've never had before or done before, and there's some around the flower basket, and then there are some up in the banner as well. I was really intimidated by them, and they're super easy. So then I felt silly. Anyway, so I think the rest of this should go pretty quickly. The bike was the slowest part. But these flowers, I thought they were going to be really annoying, and they're really fun. Each one is only like 10 to 20 stitches, and then it has a little like starburst backstitching across it, and it's super easy, and if I mess up, it doesn't matter. You know, I like those kinds of things. I don't think I've messed up on them yet, but I like having the option. So that is my whip. This is the one I'm really working on because I have to finish it before I see her in a few weeks. So I haven't worked on my castle for a while because I decided for Mania that it was an option on weekends, but then I didn't end up stitching on it at all. And in June, I've been, again, kind of busier than I thought. Do any of you have this where I get home from work and I eat dinner and, kind of do all my evening routine stuff. And then I sit down to like watch TV and relax before bed. And I want to be cross-stitching in that time. But for some reason, I have a really hard time pulling out my cross-stitching. Like it's like this huge mental obstacle to stitching. Even though it's right here, I keep my little project in a tote bag and have my little sewing box in it. It takes about 1 minute to set up, maybe 2 if I have to figure out where I'm starting. But a piece like this is really easy. It's pretty easy to figure out a new place. I don't know, sometimes it will take me like an hour to start cross-stitching and I'll just be on my phone playing Candy Crush. I'm trying to fix that. I could get so much more stitching in, but I also don't want to force myself. I don't know. Does that happen to any of you? It's weird. I don't have that problem on weekends. Just something during the weeknight. I have like a couple hours where I'll like sit and watch TV before I get ready for bed and then read. And I don't know. It's tricky. So who knows? Not me. Okay. I'm talking a lot more than I thought was possible. I didn't think I had that much to tell you. But I wanted to just give some shout outs to, well, actually just one shout out, just because you enabled me to buy some things. When I was at that store in Louisville, I was there for a wedding pattern, but I was, thought I'll check out what else they have. That will be fun. And I didn't really expect to find anything, because there's just so much that is not my style. But then I found this little rack that had a bunch of little like postcard patterns with different beach things, which again, not really my style, but they all had puns, which are my style. And so I found a couple that I really liked. I ended up only buying one, and it is this one. If you can see, it says, "Oh, whale." Oh, I just love it so much. So this is it's called To the Beach is the series. It's by Hands On Design. I think the series has like 12 total. I just thought it was so cute and so funny, and I loved the gray. Gray is like my favorite color, but it's not really the most beautiful for stitching. And I loved it. I saw this and thought this would look really cute in our bathroom. We have some like gold and gray. It's like very neutral plus gold. And I thought that would just look really cute. So I bought that and I was really excited. My mom also wants me to stitch it for her. So that was great. And then I was looking through a table. They had a lot of, not Rosewood Manor, Plum Street samplers, which I like, but don't want to hang up. So I was having fun looking through those. And then on the table, I saw this little ink circles chalkboard mandala, and I loved it. So I bought it. I thought it was super pretty. It's just all one color. I loved how it is meant to be stitched. It's on a slate hand-dyed fabric, and then the chalk color of the Gentle Arts. And I just thought that was gorgeous. So I also thought this might be a really easy, fun way for me to try out a hand-dyed fabric, which I've never done. So it calls for 36 count slate linen from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So I've ordered that. Although I don't remember, I might have gotten a different size. Whatever. So I thought I ordered it at the same time I went online to buy it that night, and I didn't actually place my order, so I only ordered it like a week ago. So I've got some time still to wait for it. But that's fine. So that was all I bought at the needlework store. But I decided for this little, I can't say it without laughing, whale. I decided that I wanted to try out using specialty threads for it because it has 8 colors, but one of those colors is only used in one of these whales little polka dots for like 10 stitches, so I'm gonna get a DMC one for that. So I went on 1-2-3 Stitch and I ordered those. I was too overwhelmed in the store to pick out things. They had so many patterns, and they had a lot of threads and things, but I really couldn't handle looking at them. I really couldn't handle all that. So I went on 1-2-3 Stitch and not for the first time. First time I bought things. And I bought all the threads for this, and I bought a couple different pieces of fabric. It also calls for a Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, but I don't think it needs it. It's just on an off-white. It is called, the called for one is Toasted Almond, and I thought, that sounds like beige. I could buy that for $3. So I bought a few different ones on 1-2-3 Stitch to try out. I might have mentioned this earlier. I've only ever stitched on Aida, so on 1-2-3 Stitch, I bought a few different colors of a few different fabrics, and I thought I would find the one that looked the best and just try out something new. But while I was on 1-2-3 Stitch, I perused what else was on sale, and I bought a pattern that I have been lusting after for a month and a half, 2 months. So I saw this in Lindy Stitch's video, I think in March. I've maybe watched all of her videos like 3 times. It's fine. I think she started it earlier than that, but I think that March was the time that I watched it and was like, yes, please. It's gorgeous. So it's this Rosewood Manor and a forest grew, all the trees, all the little woodland creatures. That was so pretty. It has a verse in the middle, like a creation verse, and Stephanie from Lindy Stitches changed it to the verse in Isaiah about the trees clapping their hands, and it's gorgeous, so I might be hitting her up for that chart. I just love it. I'm not going to start it until my castle is done. Probably. Maybe not. But now I have it, and I'm really excited. So I went from having no idea what else to stitch besides Harry Potter to having 3 things that I'm really excited about. I also have a couple other of those stitch line pieces that are just like floral and pretty, so maybe I'll stitch them, maybe I won't. I'm really excited that you're maybe still watching this. I really did not think I had this much to talk about, but I should have known. I can ramble like nobody's business, and there's no one here to stop me. So I'm not prepared to show you my books too much, and if you're not interested in seeing books, you can stop here. Thanks for watching. Please talk to me. If you are interested in talking about books, hang with me for a few minutes, because I'll show you a few things. There's a reason why I don't have a booktube channel. It's because I cannot be concise, or I'm not skilled at talking about books, even though I read a ton. I'll put my Goodreads link below because I would love to be friends with you on Goodreads. I read a lot. My goal this year is to read 200 books. And let's just say I'm ahead of schedule for that goal. So I read a lot. So I felt super justified in buying 30 books this weekend. I don't know where to start. I'm going to show you a few of these. I'm going to show you 5 books. That's it. That's all you get. 5 out of 35. If you're curious, I have a shelf on Goodreads called Book Sale 2017, and you can look at all 30-some that I bought. Okay. I'm going to show this one. It was the first one I picked up in the book sale, and it was the one that made me excited that I knew I was going to be able to find great books. We went in, the book sale is like 10 to 4 and then 1 to 4 on Sunday. And I went 4 times. It's fine. We went right at 10, we were there maybe 10:15, 10:20, and there were so many people inside. It was not a huge space, and it was full of tables, full of books. It was crazy. It was super stressful. So I got really nervous. I was like, oh no, we're not going to find anything good. And then I went and picked up this book, Major Pettigrew's Last Stand, which has been on my list for a while. It's a historical fiction, I think. It doesn't actually say, but it's set in like a village in the English countryside, so I feel like that's like basically historical fiction. I don't know. Drawn together by their shared love of literature. That's something on the back. So I just thought I don't remember who first recommended this to me, but it's been on my list for a while because of a real life recommendation. So I was excited to find it for 50 cents. All of these for 50 cents. I also got In the Time of the Butterflies by Julia Alvarez. This is one of my roommate's favorite books. This is a story of a family in Honduras and like life under a dictatorship, and it is beautiful, she says, and I trust her. Also, it has a blue spine, and I like blue spines. 50 cents! Got myself an Alice Hoffman, The Marriage of Opposites. I've kind of meant to read Alice Hoffman for a while. From what I remember, she does a fair bit of magical realism, which I don't care for. But this one is supposed to be great. I don't know. I don't remember anything else about it. This is why I don't do BookTube. I can't give you summaries, but I'll tell you if I love it. And then I got The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. I love Barbara Kingsolver. I haven't actually read any of her novels. I've read Animal Vegetable Miracle. I bought a second copy for myself because they had a hardback and mine is paperback. Maybe I'll give one away, maybe I won't. I have several of her books already. I bought like 3 other fiction books. And I'm excited. This one is... Nope, I was going to try to remember a little bit about it. Don't remember anything about it, but it's supposed to be great. Oprah says so. And then finally, I got more. If you want more, let's talk. They had a whole rack of really old books that were not familiar at all. But at one point I was looking through them just to see if there was anything pretty, or if there was anything that sounded familiar. And I ended up picking up this one, Herbs for the Kitchen. It's like from 1940. And what sold it for me was that I opened up to the table of contents. First of all, there's a barbecue sauce recipe, handwritten inside into it. Whoops. It has a little thing in the front that says how this book came to be written, and it starts, once there was a girl who had lived all the years of her life in a real American home with its many attendant blessings. And I thought that was beautiful. And it talks about how she like learns to cook along with her husband. They like different foods and they learn how to like, cook and live together, and I thought that was really cute. And then chapter 1 is called A Parade of Herbs. So how could you not? 50 cents. I don't think I'll be using it as herb instruction in my cooking, but I thought it was pretty, and I don't have a bookshelf in the kitchen. I own 2 cookbooks that I don't really use, but maybe someday I will. And it doesn't smell too much like an old book, just a hint of old book. And I thought it was pretty and worth 50 cents. And with that, I think I've talked to you enough. I'm not gonna lie, when I've watched videos, I have thought to myself, how do you have that much to talk about? Granted, I spent 10 minutes talking about my cat and 10 minutes talking about books, but I hope you have a really great day. Thanks for being here. Let's please be friends, and I will see you next time.